Wondering not only what to do, but what not to do, what mistakes to avoid as a shy guy so you could really get out there and be confident. Going to talk about that today in a special presentation video here on Social Expression.
And really, there are four mistakes that are preventing you from doing this as well. Four major mistakes. The first one is not sharing enough. Not sharing enough of yourself. That means sharing yourself energetically, right? When you step into a room, by having an open presence, by going and introducing yourself to people first, by not waiting, by sharing about yourself in conversation, opening up about the details of your day, of your life. It's a huge one that people come to me with. Questions are important too, don't get me wrong. And look, you don't have to dump and vomit everything, your most vulnerable, deep, dark places, but you do have to be able to share and make statements. And it's a huge mistake that many guys make that prevents them from connecting with other people because they don't trust you if you don't share things about yourself. If you only ask questions, they're also going to feel too interrogated. They're not going to feel like they're getting to know you or you've opened up to them if they're opening up to you. That's a huge, huge mistake. The second mistake is being externally referenced instead of internally referenced. And what does that mean? It means that you're looking for signals of validation and approval from outside of you, right? You're looking to see if you fit in. You're looking and waiting to see if they're going to like you or who's safe to talk to instead of just going and doing it. Now, I'm not saying you want to go up and talk to the guy that has the really mean look on his face necessarily as the first person you talk to in the room. But end of the day, you should be able to do that if you get really good at this stuff. But it's the idea that when you say something, you're looking in a really anxious way to see, did I say the wrong thing? Are they going to like me? Or maybe it's with high status people, attractive women, bosses, people that you admire and respect. And you're coming from this kind of inferior place because you're waiting for external signals instead of having the strong internal referencing belief system that's going to carry you through any situation, that you create your world as you move through it. Instead of the world being done to you, you're creating the world around you. You're a force to be reckoned with in a positive way. So mistake number 2, being externally referenced instead of internally referenced. So let's talk about the third major mistake, overthinking. This is this guy here with his head exploding, right? I'm sure you've experienced that. Thinking too much, overanalyzing. What's the right technique? What's the right thing to say? What's the right thing to do, right? Getting too much thinking. So yes, it's important to have the right types of thoughts and beliefs in our system, in our minds. But if our thinking is so rapid, it almost doesn't matter what kind of positive beliefs that you have in there. So you have to learn to slow it down. You have to learn to be in the entire experience of you, if that makes sense, in your presence, which means you're not going to be constantly in your head analyzing and thinking what to do. Being social and connecting with people is not a head process. It's more of a heart process, right? I'm not saying there aren't things to notice cognitively. There's tons of stuff to notice, but fundamentally, it really is about emotional connection and that kind of connection, vibing, I like to call it. And if you're in your head, stuck in your head, overthinking, it's going to lead to paralysis. It's going to lead to being stuck. It's going to lead to avoiding and fleeing the situation, in a very subtle way, or maybe not so subtle way. So we got to work on reducing the thinking and getting rid of this overthinking problem. And finally, the fourth mistake is overemphasis, too much focus on techniques and behavior, right? Too much focus on, am I saying the right thing? What's the right question to ask? What's the right statement to make? What's the right way to position my body? What's the right way to make eye contact, right? How do I behave, right? And what's the technique, the exact individual technique that is going to handle this particular or all of my negative thoughts? The one technique, right? Instead of learning to handle them with, yes, there are methods and techniques to use, but not relying on the one and saying, okay, now I've got it, and this is the one, to find out later that it doesn't work, because honestly, some techniques work better for some people and they work better for others. Some techniques work better for some situations for the same people and better in other situations, right? So it's a process of experimentation, and there's a lot of different things to do, and there are some core fundamental things, right, which I'm talking about with the mind state, the skill sets, and the consistent and proactive practice, right? Those are the fundamental parts of the system here. And if it's too much, give me the technique, just give me that solution, David, just give it to me. It doesn't work like that. I really wish it did. It's something that happens over time, and you have to have the right understanding, because if you don't understand, the technique doesn't matter. You've got to have the right integration of it. And you certainly have to have the right belief systems, but you got to start to learn how to get control of your presence and get control of your state. And yes, there are techniques we can use to help with that, but eventually you want to let the techniques go. And so if you have a primarily technique-focused approach, you can never get to that level of being the confident guy, being the naturally connecting and social person. So those are the 4 mistakes. Hey, if you like this video and want more tips and strategies on how to overcome your shyness, social anxiety, self-doubt, and really build the confidence in your social skills, conversational skills as much as you can, up to the best you can be, so you can have the career success, the social circles and friends, the dating life that you want, all that and more, subscribe to the Social Expression channel by clicking on the subscribe button, and check out the other videos here that are on offer. This channel is all about helping you be the best guy that you can, like I've done for myself, and I really want you guys to succeed. So keep watching.